Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back to another video. My name is Tawanda, and this is Tawanda's Blessed Life. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you'll stick around for a while. And if you're already subscribed, thank you for continuing to support my channel. I do greatly appreciate it. And today's video is going to be a part of a playlist, a patriotic playlist, and I will go into more details about the playlist during the video. And for our first DIY, I have two flags from the Dollar Tree. They're two Liberty. They both have Liberty on them with some little cute little flowers. And here I'm just showing you a pillow that I did I believe last year, because I will make a pillow out of anything. And I was just showing you how it held up from last year. So I'm going to just go ahead and take the little hangers off of both of the flags, and then I'm going to go ahead and start to where the little loop is. I'm going to go ahead and hot and glue that back so that it won't have those little loops at the end of my pillow. So I'm going to use some of the B7000, which is what I always use when I make my pillows, and some hot glue. And I'm going to go ahead and then flip both of the pillow, the fronts of the flags on the inside, and I'm going to go ahead and continue to add my B7000 and then some hot glue. And I'm going to add that to all sides of my flags, and then I'm going to leave a little opening at the bottom, and then that's where I'll go ahead and flip my pillow back on inside out and go ahead and start to stuff it with my pillow fluff, or pillow. Actually, I'm using some stuffing from an old pillow. So yeah, that's what I'll end up doing. And here I'm just doing the B7000 with the hot glue, and then here you'll see me flipping it on the inside out. So there's the little opening that I left open. I'm going to flip it on the outside in or inside out, and I'll go ahead and stuff it, and I'm going to go and once it's completely stuffed, I'll go ahead and add some more to B7000 and the hot glue, and that is going to be it for this DIY. I actually like making pillows out of flags because they're actually really cheap to make, and it doesn't matter if they get wet because they're going to dry anyway because of the material. So yeah. And if you don't want to just put the stuffing in there, I have made them where I have used a plastic bag and stuffed it and then put the flag around that. So but yeah, that'll be it for this DIY. Let me know what you think. And we are moving on to our next DIY, DIY number 2. I have a pinwheel that I'm going to use, some window cleans from the Dollar Tree, and also a couple of bandanas, and I'm also going to use some of the Waverly white paint. So I'm going to start off by painting the pinwheel white. I'm going to give it 2 coats and let it dry with the Waverly white chalk paint, excuse me. And then once it's completely dry, I'm going to trace the little I'm going to call them petals. I'm going to trace the petals with some white paper onto just a piece of white paper, and then I'm going to take my bandana and I'm going to use that as the paper as my template and trace the bandana with my templates. So here I'm just showing you the bandanas, which are really cute, and I'm going to go ahead and start to cut those pieces out. And I'm gonna, I believe I cut, so the top pieces I cut a little bit larger so that they would wrap around, and then the piece on the back I made it shorter so it would cover it would cover the top piece, so they just make it look a little bit more nicer and neater. So once I have my pieces cut, I went ahead and used some hot glue, and that's how I attached my pieces to my pinwheel. So I'm going to go ahead and just let you watch me do this really quick. This playlist will be Patriotic DIYs, and the host is Tasha from Sunflower TOSHA DIYs, and the guest host is Sweet Tea and Butterflies. I will have the link to the playlist in my description box, along with the links to both the host and the guest host channels in my description box also. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you'll stay. And on my channel, I do decorating on a budget, DIYs, and hauls, along with everyday living, lifestyle, and sister lock updates on Wednesdays. I put crafting videos out on Sundays at 12. And if you're already subscribed to my channel, I do greatly appreciate you continuing to support me and watch my videos every Sunday. I'm going to start applying the fabric to the back side of my flower, just so that it makes it look a little bit nicer and neater. And then once I have that complete, I'm going to move on to making the pistil of the flower, and I'm going to make that by just using a spool from some ribbon and a piece of a paper towel holder. And I'm going to start off by just taking some paper and just cutting it to size and using my glue stick to attach the paper to the top of the pistil. And then I'm going to take some of the leftover fabric from the flower itself, or from the bandana, and I'm going to hot glue that around. And then once I have that complete, I'm going to take use one of the window clings. I'm going to use the one that says Liberty on it, that has the bell on it. It kind of matches, or it actually matches the pillow. And I'm going to use some Mod Podge to adhere that to the top of my pistil, and then I'm going to hot glue it and onto the middle of my flower. And that is going to be it for this DIY. Really cute, easy, simple, and extremely budget friendly. Okay, so for this DIY, I'm going to use the Rust-Oleum semi-gloss in white, and also the satin in the midnight blue, and then I have a Krylon in red paint, spray paint. And then I'm also going to use, well, actually I showed you a bow that I had made, but I actually ended up not using it. So I'm going to start off by spray painting the top half of my star in blue, and then I spray painted another section of it in the Krylon in red. And then it rained, of course, and then it messed everything up, and then my star broke in half. So as you can see here, it's broken at the tip where the red is inserted to the one section, and then it's also broken on where the white part is attached at both tips. So I ended up using some of the Type-On wood glue and then also some of the hot glue to put it back together, and it actually still was like falling apart. So I ended up taking a couple of craft sticks and then just using some of the Type-Bond and the hot glue to attach them to the backs of the star, just to make sure that it would stay put together, because I actually didn't want to scrap this DIY. I was like, at that point I was already into it and I had already spent 2 days on it, and I was just gonna keep going. So but yeah, so once I've used the craft sticks on every section. I wish I would have used smaller craft sticks, but I couldn't find the smaller ones that I had. But nonetheless, it still came out okay. But what I probably should have done was painted the craft sticks the same colors as the wooden beads, excuse me, but I did not. But anywho, it still came out nice. So yeah, let me know what you think about the recovery of this DIY. So we're moving on to our last and final DIY for today. I actually lost the first part of the footage for this DIY, but I went ahead and so I have a piece, my husband cut me off a piece of a fence post. This is a birdhouse from the Dollar Tree, and then I also have one of those yard sale signs from Dollar General. And then I use some of the Mocha Stain by Minwax, and then I also, what I did was I tore the birdhouse apart, and here I am just trying to get proper placement of how I want to put my stripes onto my fence post. And so here I am just eyeballing it, and I thought my stripes were too big, so I ended up removing the tape and just tearing the painter's tape in half, and then eyeballing it again and then replacing the tape how I want it. So here is the final of what I ended up going with. So I'm going to take some of the white Waverly wax is what I'm using here, and so here I'm placing the front of my birdhouse in this area that I want to place, where I'm going to place it, and I'm going to just go ahead and take that white wax and go ahead and create my stripes. So when I taped it off, I had another idea that I was going to use, but I actually ended up not doing that. So once I remove the tape, you'll see me go back and and then I'll go back and add the white wax to the sections that I missed. Because as I was doing this DIY, I was coming up with the ideas for this DIY. The only thing I knew I wanted to do when I first started this DIY was I knew I wanted to use the birdhouse. And I'm just showing you that I'm going to use some of the Dollar Tree wood glue. And once I have it on, I'm going to go back, and I think I'm going to go back and do a couple more corrections where I did not put the white wax. So here I'm going to go ahead and place it there. Actually, I think this is where I'm going to also I've used some wooden stars, and they came from Michael's. I also just put some of the white wax on them. So I'm going to go ahead and hot glue those. I'm going to use some of the hot glue and some of the wood glue, and my battery actually ended up dying, so you're only going to see me putting on one of the stars. So here I'm just showing you what it's looking like so far, and I'm going to go back, like I said, and finish those areas where because I was actually going to put the bird house down farther, but I actually ended up just moving it up a little bit higher. So here I'm fixing those little areas, like I said, and then I am going to, this is me just showing you that I'm adding those stars. So I added some wood glue and some hot glue, and I added 7 stars, I believe is what I added. So this is what it's looking like so far, And then this is the back side, and I'm also going to take it back outside and put some of the stain on the back side once I have it complete. So now I'm going to take it outside and I'm going to drill a 1.5-inch hole in the middle of the birdhouse. And then you can see my little hole there. And then I'm going to use some wood glue to attach the back of the birdhouse to the back of my fence picket. And you can see where I kind of just drew an outline or trace the birdhouse just so I can place it where I want it. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just add some of the wood glue to the top and attach the top back to the top of the birdhouse. I'm also going to I went around the edges with some of the hot glue just to make sure that it stayed. So here I am just adding a little hole at the base of the birdhouse, because I'm also going to place a hole at the top of the house so that I can drop birdseed in, but I wanted to place a hole at the bottom so if rain got inside of the birdhouse, it would be able to drain out. So here I am placing a hole on top of the birdhouse, which I probably should have did that outside, but it was late. And then there I'm going to go ahead and attach the roof back onto the top of the birdhouse, and I'm going to take it outside and restain the back of it. And once I have it done like this, I'm going to also add a Dollar Tree tumbling tire block to the top of it. And so I went ahead and stained it also so the birds will have a little perch. And then I also took my little hand sander and sanded some areas down so they'll look more distressed. And that is it for this DIY. And that is it for today's video. Please click on the link and watch the playlist and watch all of the lovely crafters videos. And if you like what I am doing, please like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And like I always say, be nicer, be kinder. God will love you for it. And I hope you have a blessed day. And I will see you next Sunday. Goodbye.